welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Now today I'm going to be answering the Q&A, but please hold on until the end of this Q&A video for a short little announcement and for some more Q&A questions. Now, as you can see, I'm not in the set today. I'm at home on my balcony, so please excuse a little bit of the audio ruffle, and I wish I could show you the view that I'm looking at, but I don't have the proper lighting equipment. So we're gonna get that sorted out. But for now, I hope you guys enjoy the Q&A, and let's get right into it. Oh, and of course, before I forget, quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing the Panerai Radiomir PAM 380. Another piece that's kind of been ignored for a little bit, but it's definitely one of my favorites in my collection. So as I said, let's get right into it. If you guys see me look down here, I'm reading off my computer screen. So the first question is from Manuel Munoz, and he says, "Hi Federico, I would like to know what you think about the Omega Globemaster. I miss your blog on the internet, Manuel." Well, Manuel, thank you very much, but no need to miss me. I'm over at the Watch You Want channel, link in the description below. What do I think of the Globemaster? Well, I think it's a really good looking piece. I love the bezel, I love the movement, I love that it's Midas chronometer certified, which is even higher end than COSC. It's a good looking watch, but it's a bit on the expensive side, and it's not doing anywhere near as well as Omega wanted it to do. I think Omega kind of wanted it to go toe-to-toe with the Datejust, and let's be honest, that just ain't happening. Why? I think it's a price thing, because I think the watch is great and it looks fantastic. Tai wants to know, "Hey Fed, people praise in-house movements as it indicates a higher level of quality and manufacturing ability a watch company has. Besides universal adaptability and servicing, what other benefits do using non-in-house movements have for a company and consumer?" Well, quite a few, Tai. I think the first thing is stability. I mean, these ETA calibers are pretty well renowned, and they're very, very stable. So very little can usually go wrong. Now, yes, in-house manufacturing of movements does usually indicate a higher level of manufacturing ability, but as my good friend Tim says, you can also tell a lot about what a company does with standard ETA movements. Take a look at Christian Vanderklaw. I'll pop a picture right up here. One of my favorite watch companies, Celestial Complications. Very, very expensive, but they're based on ETA-based movements with their own modules. Just as complicated, if not more complicated, than a lot of in-house movements out there. And you get the stability. Now, I'm not poo-pooing on in-house movements. I think it's a great way to get variety, and it definitely shows a level of know-how. And I personally do love in-house movements. I try and collect in-house movements once we hit a certain price point, but that doesn't mean to say that ETA doesn't have a list of pros and cons as well. And I think the pros are definitely reliability, stability, and usually price point. ANT Zaki asks, "Hey Federico, keep up the fantastic work." Thanks, Zaki. "I was wondering, if a used Rolex Explorer 2 reference 16570 was worth purchasing, should I opt for the newer model instead?" Well, it all depends on what you mean, is it worth purchasing? I think they're priced pretty well right now, and they're poised to climb. Are they gonna climb a whole lot? No, because the Explorer 2 is not the most beloved collection. However, the new model is also 2mm bigger, so it has to you have to kind of decide what you like better. Personally, I say go for the 16570. Eddie Marrero asks, "I'd love to learn how you transitioned from retail to wholesale brand management, and if there are still opportunities for long-term careers in the current state of the watch industry." Well, Eddie, the truth is I was very, very lucky, and I was also very, very good. Retail can actually be more lucrative. I actually made more money in retail than I did in brand management. However, you have to think of it like this. Every brand has a couple of territories, 1 to 4, and there's not that many brands out there. So let's say at Vempe, we carried maybe 20 brands. And the territories are East Coast, Midwest, West Coast, maybe some for Hawaii, South America, but really I was living in New York, so East Coast only. So that gives me really only 20 open positions. And usually when somebody leaves a brand rep position of one brand, it's to join another brand. So it's very hard to transition from retail to wholesale. The way you can do it is just, have a great resume, be in retail for a long time, then anytime the brand presidents or brand reps come in, you schmooze them, you say how much you love the brand, you say intelligent things, you work hard for them, you make some great sales, and then maybe 3-4 years down the line, you kind of hint at the fact that you'd like to transition over. And if you have anything open, to let you know. Now this is pretty rare because I did apply for a few jobs before my Piaget gig, which was my first brand management gig, and they kind of dismissed me because I had no brand management experience. I was only a retail guy. So honestly, it is very difficult and it takes a lot of luck and you have to be good at what you do. Are there opportunities? Sure, there are, but it's very, very competitive. It's not particularly lucrative. And to be honest with you, it's not the dream. I enjoyed retail more than brand management. At least in retail, you get to play with watches all day. In brand management, it's all about sell, 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 spreadsheets, return on investment, CapEx. It's all that kind of stuff that you don't have to deal with in retail. It's more responsibility, but it's not necessarily better compensation either. Of course, it depends on which retailer you work at. Jurissa Deputy asks, what is the most disappointing thing you learned about a watch company when you worked in the industry? It's not so much about a watch company, but about a few watch companies. And that is, the truth is, all that really matters is the bottom line. Sure, when the company's selling well, they pay attention to their collectors, they throw great events, they even innovate with their product. But when the brand is going through a little bit of a downturn, all they care about is to sell. Events go out the window because they cost money. Interaction with collectors goes out the window because it costs money. Innovation goes out the window because it costs money. So at the end of the day, it shouldn't be a surprise to any of you, and it shouldn't have been a surprise to me, but the watch industry is a business, and what really matters is making money. Iacono Nicholas asks, Ciao Fede, if you could pick one of the new watches released this year at SIHH or Baselworld for you to wear, which one would it be and why? Saluti da Napoli. Hey Nicholas, saluti da Napoli, io sono a Miami. But if I had to pick one watch, I would probably go with the JLC Master Control Sector Dial chronograph. Everybody knows how much I love it. I don't have to go into detail about this. It's going to be made for only 1 year. But yeah, that's definitely the watch I'd pick to wear. Frank Jr. Entas asks, do any of your PAMs have dings and scratches? Leave them or fix them. Flying to South Beach in 2 weeks. Well, hey Frank, hope you enjoy South Beach. Do any of my Panerais have scratches on them? Hell yeah, they do. They're all dinged up. I don't really worry about them too much because they're Panerais. They're the ultimate tool watch. In the beginning, yeah, it really bothered me. But honestly, right now, knowing what polishing does to a watch, which is, remove metal and decrease the value, and also having owned a few watches for a few years, I really don't care. Unless it's a real big ding, I won't have it taken care of. And in fact, I've never polished any of my watches ever. You kind of just live with it. Scratches tell a story. And I think it's just a charming way to kind of see what your watch has been through. That's only my take. I know a few guys are a lot more particular when it comes to scratches on their pieces. And before we get into our last question, I wanted to let you know this is only part 1 of the Q&A. So there is one more question after this, but if you want to see even more questions answered, please head over to the Watch You Want channel, drop a subscription, and I'm going to upload part 2 of this Q&A video there. I feel like a lot of my friends and viewers haven't completely moved over, so I try to make announcements from time to time. So this Q&A is almost over on this channel, but it's going to continue for a few more questions on Watch You Want. As I said, link in the description below. So for the last question on this video, Stefano Biobilakis, excuse me if I Butchered That asks, hey Federico, great work on the new show. Thanks, Stefano. If you were to start a one-brand collection like Tim and Jaeger, what brand and what models would it be? Oh man, I've debated about this, and I really don't know. I guess the easy answer for me would say Cartier. Cartier was my first ever job, first ever company I worked for in the industry. I have a deep emotional connection to the brand. I think they're underloved, underappreciated. I would love a couple of pieces like the Santos and the Tank, but also some of the really high-end pieces like the Haute Horlogerie Jump Hour and the Collection Privée, which is now discontinued, single push piece chrono. I think they're a brand that doesn't get enough love out there, and only true watch aficionados give them the credit. And for you guys that say, oh, it's just a fashion brand, honestly, you don't know what you're talking about. But I'm going to be very bold and do your homework, because Cartier is a very, very serious brand. At least in my opinion. Actually, no, not in my opinion. It's a fact. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching another episode on Federico Talks Watches. Don't forget to catch me on Watch You Want, and you can go there right now and watch the second part of this Q&A video. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.